Hello, everyone. Very good morning. It's good to see you all after a week's break. I hope you've been keeping well. In this session, we will see how you can drive your team's remote productivity. Given the current remote working scenario, today's workshop will make sense to almost every business. I'm John Wilfred, an evangelist with Zoho. So is my colleague Anjana Mahesh, and we will be your hosts. Today, we have Vaishnavi and Srinivasan administrators. Both share expertise in Zoho WorkDrive. Srinivasan will be behind the screen answering all your questions while Vaishnavi will be your trainer. And before we start, I would like to mention a few key points. Make sure that you have signed into your Zoho account to shadow our actions. You may need admin privilege to access certain features within Zoho WorkDrive. And please do not mess with the existing settings. Create a test instance of anything you wish to try. So we'll have a quick look at the agenda. So Vaishnavi will take you through an introduction of Zoho WorkDrive, followed by a hands-on session, and we'll wrap the workshop with a quick recap. Okay, so without further ado, let me welcome Vaishnavi to take the session forward. Vaishnavi, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, John. Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing good. So let me get started. I'm Vaishnavi from the WorkDrive team. WorkDrive is an online file storage and content collaboration platform for remote teams. Whether you're a three-member team or a 3,000 plus MNC, WorkDrive helps you work together better. Let me first start off with a session by telling you how WorkDrive caters to the needs of the remote teams. First is WorkDrive offers something called as the team folders. So team folders is like a shared space that you create for a particular purpose, a department. Now let's say you have an upcoming product launch and you create a team folder for the same and you invite all the involved members to it. Now, any file or folder that you create within the team folder will then be automatically available to each member involved and who are part of the team folder. So this is the convenience. You need not share files individually to people. And then we have the Zoho Office Suite. So Workshop comes with the built-in Office Suite for you to, which is the Writer, Sheet, and Show. So Writer is a word processor, Sheet is an online spreadsheet tool, and Show is your presentation editor. These editors have been in the market for over a decade and they've evolved to become strong editors. Now, in fact, the presentation that you're seeing today was created on Zoho Show. So this way, your team need not go outside WorkDrive and juggle between applications to create content. They can do all of that right within WorkDrive. Then coming to roles and permissions. So as an organization, it's super crucial to ensure that every employee has access to information, especially in times like these when you have people working remotely. But then you need to also make sure that the right person has access to the right information. So with Workshop, you can set granular level permission controls, not just at a team folder level, but also at a file and a subfolder level. And then we have the WorkDrive mobile apps. So we have an app for iOS and Android, which means your team can access their files on the go. They can share files, they can create team folders, and much more. And all of these capabilities are built on a well protected platform with enterprise grade security. So WorkDrive is GDPR compliant, and all the files are encrypted during REST and transit. And it's also integrated with Zoho Directory, which means you can set password rules, you can enable two-factor authentication. So I'll be talking about this in a little more detail during my demo. And then we also comply to industry standards, and every file that is being uploaded onto WorkDrive, whether you're using the web app or you're using the desktop app, WorkDrive scans for a virus. So now I'm super excited to show you guys the product. So let's head right into it. For the sake of the demo, I'm going to pick an example of how Zilka Creative, a digital marketing agency, have been managing all their digital assets like collaterals, their marketing collaterals, their presentations, and much more using WorkDrive. I'm going to quickly share my screen so that I can show you guys the product. So this is the WorkDrive UI, guys. On the left are the list of team folders. So team folders, like I mentioned, is a shared space that you create for a particular department or a function. So here we have created team folders for a marketing team. In fact, we have team folders created for our clients as well. So we have Hustle Properties, we have Max's Cupcake Factory. So you can create team folders based on how you want, to organize your files within and how you want people to collaborate on. So there are two types of team folders in WorkDrive. One is the private, another is the public. A public team folder is where anyone in your organization can simply search, look up for the team folder, join, and then access all the files. Now take this. Let's say your HR team wants to, set up a platform where anyone in the organization can come and view all the company policies and be aware of it. So they can simply create a public team folder and add all the files to it. Now I, as an employee, can look up for the team folder, company policies, and then join and get instant access to all the policies. This way I'm aware. This way every individual within the organization has the information they need. Now, the other type of team folder that I mentioned is a private team folder where only invited members will have access to the files. The little logs that you see next to the team folder denote that they are private team folders. Let's take the marketing team folder here, for instance. So now only the marketing members who are part of this team folder will have access to these files. If you notice, we have the writer sheet show files here. In fact, you can create them right from here on the top right. So you can create a writer file, a sheet file, and a show file. And if you have files lying on your desktop, you can pull them onto WorkDrive as well. Or if you have files stored in different cloud storages, then you can import them onto WorkDrive and start working on them right from here. So earlier I mentioned how WorkDrive lets you manage permissions at different levels. Now let me show you how you can manage at a team folder level. Head to manage. So these are the basic details of the team folder. You can see how much size it occupies, for what reason the team folder is created. I mentioned how this is a private team folder, which means only invited members will have access to the files. So you need to add members to this team folder for them to access the files. By default, WorkDrive offers four permissions, which is the admin, organizer, editor, and a viewer. An admin will have complete control over the team folder. An organizer can move files around, edit, and manage them. An editor can only create and edit content, whereas a viewer can view and comment on files. Now, here, for example, we have Samuel and Samira. They are the content editors and content creators within the marketing team. So we've given them editor permission so that they can create and work on documents anytime they need. And then we have the settings tab. So from here, only the admin on an organizer will have access to the settings tab, and they can choose to either change the type of the team folder at any point of time. There's a public team folder and you think it needs to be restricted, then you can always change it to private and vice versa. Now, as a marketer, we often, within a digital agency, we often work with clients who are not part of the organization. So, what do we do when they have to contribute to the work? When they keep sending across files, every time you download the attachment and then upload it, that's too much manual work, right? So, when you enable this, and you can simply share this particular email address to your client, so that they directly send files to this email ID, and it's automatically uploaded to the team folder, and you can also choose a specific location as well. And let's say you don't want clients or external parties sending out random files to your team folders, then you can restrict it by just, having your members who are part of the team send emails to this ID. And then by enabling the allow files and folders to be shared outside the team, you can create external share links to work with external collaborators. I'll talk about this in detail in some time. And you can also decide whether the viewer permission people can download files, or you can restrict that. And by enabling the convert all files to WorkDrive format, so every time a file is uploaded to this team folder, it will, in the let's say any editor format, it can be a Word, it can be a PowerPoint presentation, then they will automatically be converted to the respective WorkDrive formats, which is your writer, sheet, and show. You can disable this as well. And let's say the purpose of the team folder is done, the campaign that you ran, created the team folder is over, then you can always delete it. So this is a very important feature within WorkDrive. So any file of folder that is deleted within this team folder will come and land in the trash list. Now, let's say you've been working on a particular report or a campaign for a very long time, and one of your team members have deleted it by mistake, accidentally. So, what do? Do not panic. You can simply come here, restore the file. It's super easy. But what happens when someone deletes the file even from the trash list? So again, all the files will go end up in another trash list, which is available at the team level from where your team admins can always restore it. So this way, any deleted file does not leave the WorkDrive system overnight. You can always restore it and use them again. Now moving on to the activities tab is from where you get a complete overview of all the activities within this team folder. You can choose to filter them based on a particular activity as well. And from the external sharing link, you can create, like I mentioned, you can create multiple external share links for your documents, right? So you can manage all those share links here. Again, I'll come to this point in some time. So this is all about managing your team folder, the members, and the permissions within the team folder. Now let me show you how you can do the same thing at a file level. So select the file and head to properties. So this is again the general information about the particular file. And then WorkDrive lets you manage unlimited file versions. So quite often, when we're working with clients, there's so much back and forth happening, so many versions that we go through. So imagine creating duplicates of documents and having so many versions, not knowing where they are, not knowing how you name them. But with WorkDrive, you can manage all your versions from a single place, and it's super easy. So let's say your client is not happy with your new version and prefers the older version, then you can always restore a previous version as a top. So it's super easy to manage everything in a single place, and you get a complete overview of all the files within a single place, and it's not creating duplicates as well. And then you have the activity stats. This is similar to what we saw at the team folder level. And then we have access stats from where you can see who has viewed your file, downloaded, and so on. So this is about working within your team folder. So how you can track your documents and so on. Now, what happens when you want to work with people outside your team folder? Probably someone from the legal team or events team. As marketers, we quite often collaborate with other team members. Now, let's say I want to work with a person from the finance team. I want to, ensure the marketing budget that I'm preparing is approved by the finance team. So I'm going to closely work with them and make sure it's approved soon. So I'm going to, instead of inviting that individual to the team folder and giving them access to all the files within this team folder, I'm just going to simply share this particular file alone. So if you notice here, Hari Krishna is my colleague from the finance team. I've already shared this file directly to them, and I can decide what access or what they can do, how much they can contribute to this document. So this way you don't invite them and give them access to all your files, but just that one specific file with which you want to work with. And now say you want to work with someone outside your organization, probably a client, probably a partner, and so on. So what do you do then? So remember I spoke about creating external share links. So with WorkDrive, you can create multiple external share links for the same file and share it with different audience groups and see how they react to it. So for instance, you can just give a reference name here. So in case you are sharing a writer sheet in show file, then you can let them edit the file as well. So this way you can collaborate on documents. And the best part is they need not create a WorkDrive account. So they can simply use the link, work on the documents, add the content, contribute, and add comments and so on. But they need not create a WorkDrive account. They can simply do it right from their browser. And you can also set a password to the link just to be sure as an extra safety. You can set an expiration link, post which the document will not be available to them. You can restrict download, and you can also request for a user data. You can, so that every time someone accesses the link, they need to give a name, phone number, or an email ID. So where does all this come in handy? Let me show you. I'm going to quickly open a link that I've already created. You can view a complete stats on who has accessed, how many times they've viewed the file, how many times they've downloaded the file, and so on. So this way, you can see what happens with your content that you have shared. And you always have complete control. You can delete an external share link whenever you choose to. So this is all about working with people within your team, within your organization, and with people who are, with external stakeholders. Now, there are often times when, we're busy with a particular, a campaign or a project, or you're in a meeting, or you're away from your desk. And when you come back, there's so much changes that happens within the account. You're not sure where to start, right? So WorkDrive offers notifications at two levels so that you can keep track of all your changes. The one is the unread section that you see at a team folder level. So you have an unread section at every team folder. Because I'm part of so many team folders here, and I can just open every team folder and then head to the unread section and see all the changes that has happened with respect to that team folder, so that I'm not swamped with notifications. At the same time, I can keep a check on what's happening. And then another notification is the global notification that you will see on the right corner. So from here, you get details on who's created a public team folder, whether you've been invited to a private team folder, or if someone mentioned you within a document. So all of the important notifications are here. So we've very consciously divided the notifications at two levels so that you don't miss out on any updates. And the next feature, my most favorite and a lifesaver, is WorkDrive Search. So now let's say I'm going to start a new campaign, but before that, I'm going to refer to a previous campaign that I did for another client. Not sure what the name of the file was, but I still remember the keyword. So I'm going to simply type the keyword here. So what WorkDrive does is it just does not, brings up file with the word remote work. Instead, it also scans for the content of the files and brings all those documents, where the remote work is available in the content. And not just that, it goes one step further and scans for images, PDFs, and more, and brings all those as well. So WorkDrive supports OCR and object detection as well. So now let's say you're a designer and you're looking for images, where you have laptop. So it brings in, images with a particular object as well. Currently, we support 80 or 80 plus objects, and we're adding more to it. So this search is super easy and super fun to use. You can quickly spot all the files that you want. Do give this feature a try, guys. And then moving on, we have the My Folder section from where you can manage all your My Folders, your personal folders, and files. You can create, write a sheet and show files and upload files as well, similar to what we saw at the team folder level. Now, let's say you've been working on a blog or a video, and then you think, hey, this has come out really well. I want to share it with my team. Then you can simply move this file to the team folder to which you have the admin or the organizer permission, and then the file is automatically available to every team member. You need not share it with them explicitly. You just have to put it in the team folder and then it's available automatically. And then we have the recent file section on the top left from where you will be able to view all the recently modified files. And then you have the favorite section. So let's say there are a couple of documents that you access on a weekly basis or on a daily basis. Then you can simply set them as favorite and you can view them from here. It's super easy to access the files. And then labels is something that we've added newly to the WorkDrive product. So you can create custom labels to organize your files the way you want. So as a marketer, I'm part of a lot of events. I'm part of a lot of PR launch. So I have categorized my files across, these categories. And simply, let's say I want to see all the event essentials documents. I click on the label, and all the event essential documents are available to me in a single click. I need not go through multiple team folders, find those files, so on. I can just label them, sort them, and then find them as and when I need it. So this is all about the front end of WorkDrive. Now let me take you to the admin console. So here's the comprehensive dashboard. From here, as an admin, you can manage your licenses, you can manage your storage, you can see how much storage is used by every team folder and individual. And you can also view the file activity over a specific period of time as well. And from the members tab is where you can manage all your members. You can, change role for a particular member. Now take this scenario. Let's say a teammate suddenly walks up to you and say, I'm quitting the organization. So, uh, at a very short notice. So what do you do? What happens to the data that he or she has created or he or she is working on so far? It need not leave with them as they leave the company. With WorkDrive, you can manage and retain all their data right within WorkDrive and transfer it to a person who is replacing that person. So you can simply temporarily suspend that member. So when you suspend a member, the license frees up, which can be used for a new member. So when you find a replacement for the ex-employee, then you delete the member, add the email ID of the new member, and then now all the so when you delete this member, all the files of the ex-employee is transferred to the new employee so that it's easier for them to start where the ex-employee left. It's the knowledge transfer is also quite fast here. And then moving on to the activities tab is where you can generate custom reports. Now let's say the legal team wants to get an idea of all the activities that has happened within the team for an audit trail. Then you can simply generate them. You can also filter them based on a particular team folder, a specific member, and generate them for a period of time. So I mentioned earlier how WorkDrive is GDPR compliant. One example of that is this. So as an admin, I can generate reports and export them as well. But then they do not get downloaded onto my system. Instead, they are saved in the WorkDrive's My Folder section. So the information does not leave your WorkDrive account. It's still available within your WorkDrive account only. And then we have data templates, another new addition to the product. So similar to labels, data templates is a way to organize your files and structure your, data storage at an organization level. So you can create data templates. I'm going to quickly open one which I've already created. So I want to, organize all my campaign files in a single place so that I can refer to them as and when needed. So I have created a template for a campaign with the name, the campaign type, and whether it's live or not. I can also add other custom fields. Now I head back to my WorkDrive account, and then I can choose a file and associate that particular data template to this file. So if you notice here, the data template is already associated to this file. So where does this come in handy? When you search for files, you can search by data templates, pick a specific template, so let's say campaign details, and all the files that are associated to this template will appear here. Now you can also further drill down your search by using those custom fields. So now let's say you want to see all the campaigns that are not live, just to ensure where they are, what's the status. So you can just say, is the campus live? If is the campaign live, equal to status yes or no, and then search. You will have all the documents related to that. So it's super simple and super easy to access your files. Now moving on to the settings tab is from where you can, give a team name, you can add a logo to the WorkDrive account, and you can also decide whether all the files uploaded to the WorkDrive account are, automatically converted to the writer sheet and show format. You can, choose this at an organization level, and when you disable this, the allow team folder admins to choose this option, you are restricting team folders from changing, team folder admins from changing whatever you set at the team level. Similarly, from the roles and permissions, you can decide who can create a public team folder. And from the sharing, when you disable the external sharing link at a team level, then this will precede the settings that someone has set at the team folder level. And security, the most important. So like I mentioned, WorkDrive is integrated with Zoho Directory, which means you can set password rules, you can decide the length of the password, how many characters, what kind of characters to be part of the password so that they're not hacked easily. And then you can also enable two-factor authentication. like touch IDs, push notifications, which adds an extra layer of security to the WorkDrive account. You can also restrict users from accessing their accounts from certain IP addresses, which you think can be a little vulnerable. Now, coming to migration. So if you are a Dropbox, Google Drive, or a OneDrive user, then we have ready-made migration tools ready for you. You can simply migrate all your accounts right from the respective storages to WorkDrive. If you're a Zoho Docs user, then we have a migration tool for that as well. So I'm going to quickly jump to my presentation. With this, we come to the end of the demo. Yeah. So let's do a quick activity, guys. So if you have not signed up to WorkDrive, then you can just click the sign up button from here and try creating a team and then inviting members. If you're already using WorkDrive, then you can try creating a team folder. And please ensure that you do not disturb the existing setup and try some, just test around. Okay, so now I'm going to move on with my presentation. So apart from the default desktop sync that we have, we're also working on something called as the True Sync. So the fun part about True Sync is that now let's say you have 1 TB of files stored onto your WorkDrive account, and you need not have that much space on your desktop, right? But how do you make sure you're able to view all those files onto your laptop? So you can do that with the TrueSync app. You can, TrueSync app creates a mirror view of all the files that you have on the WorkDrive web account right on your desktop without occupying any of your hard drive storage. Only when you open a file, it's temporarily downloaded, you can work on it, and then it's again synced back to the cloud. Or you can also set particular files as offline so that only those files will occupy space. So you still get to view all your files without having to use up any of your storage space. And then we have the WorkDrive mobile apps from which you can access all your files on the go. We've tried to replicate the web experience and we've tried to bring as many as features as possible within the WorkDrive app as well. We're still working on it. So you can create team folders, you can create external share links right from here and share it with customers. Now, let's say someone from your team has deleted a file by mistake and they do not have permissions to restore it. So you can do that for them right from your mobile app. You can restore deleted files from team folders right from your mobile apps as well. And we've tried to extend the WorkDrive experience not just across devices, but across apps as well. And we have a few add-ons and integrations for that. So the first is a Microsoft add-on. So in case you're a Microsoft user, like you prefer using Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, then you need not worry. You can still make advantage of the WorkDrive features. So you can simply download this add-on, work on your Microsoft files, and simply say save to WorkDrive, and then it's available to you right on WorkDrive. You can manage them on WorkDrive, whereas you have the editors, and you still get to use your favorite editors. And then we have the Gmail add-on here. So you are drafting an email and you want to pick a file from WorkDrive. You need not go there, download, and then upload it here. Instead, you can use this add-on to simply pick files. In fact, you can create external share links right within this application window. And similarly, you can save your incoming Gmail attachments to WorkDrive within specific team folders as well. We have a similar add-on for the Zoho Mail user. So if you're a Zoho Mail user, it's available to you. You can simply use the WorkDrive icon that you see next to the attach, and then save your attachments or pick files from WorkDrive and send it across. WorkDrive is integrated with Zapier, which means you can connect 1,000+ business apps with WorkDrive and streamline information flow. And WorkDrive is also integrated with Zoho Flow. So you can create actions, set triggers, create decisions, automate manual tasks. So let's say you want to, every time there is an email that you receive, you want to automatically upload it to a particular team folder, then that can be automated. It's super easy. So this way, WorkDrive becomes the central repository. It connects with all your other business apps, and it's super easy. All your apps will be able to communicate with each other. And We will be integrating all the Zoho apps with WorkDrive. WorkDrive will be integrated with every Zoho app out there, so that any file that you save, you know, any file that is created or saved within other applications, like take for example CRM. Let's say a salesperson is creating a doc is working on a document and attaches to an account within CRM, or a product manager is attaching a project file to a task within Zoho projects. It can be anything. All of that will be stored within WorkDrive in the backend. You can manage them all within WorkDrive. So what this does is it kind of breaks the information silos that is usually created within the organization, and it brings in all the team from different departments under a single roof so that it's easier to collaborate. Now, with WorkDrive becoming the unified storage, the underlying file management system, it also inherits capabilities from other products. For example, we have the unified search, the ZIA search, which means you can search for files from any application. Let's say you're using CRM or you're using Zoho Mail, you can use the ZIA search and then simply search for files within WorkDrive just to refer it. Super easy. And then we have image processing and OCR, like I mentioned earlier. So all the text that is available within the image is extracted and saved as metadata for that image so that it's easier to search for WorkDrive. Zoho WorkDrive is included within Zoho One. It's part of the workplace and remotely. So if you're a Zoho One user, you can check with your admin and get it added to your console. If you're a workplace user and still using Zoho Docs, then you can always migrate your files to WorkDrive and get started. It easily blends with the WorkDrive workplace bundle, and similarly remotely as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this session and you found the you found the demo quite informative. Okay, so now I transfer the session to Anjana. Over to you.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Good morning, everybody. I'm definitely sure people would have, our audience would have definitely enjoyed this session. So, jumping into the recap of today's session. So, as Vaishnavi gave us an introduction on WorkDrive, where you had a look on the file storage and content collaboration platform for remote teams. Second, we jump into team folders, a shared space for your team to collaborate securely. You can also have control over data with role-based permissions. And the third one, we had a look at the comprehensive admin zone. So where you can manage your storage and team files, generate activity reports, and customize organization setting. And then further, we had a look at the unified file storage, where eventually, WorkDrive will be integrated with every Zoho app and will act as a centralized document repository for your business. Then we had the WorkDrive apps, where you had mobile and desktop applications to help you work offline and from any device nodes can be used. If nothing pops right now, not a problem. You can email us at support@zohoworkdrive.com. Further, we have few more workshop sessions coming up. Please make sure you register by today. And it's definitely exciting topics we're going to talk about. Thank you very much for your time, guys, and I hope to see you next week. Take care.